we need to reach out and try to help these people, because they don't do that because they want to be like that. You know, they're sick. You know, we need to help them. And to turn our backs on them and just ignore them is wrong.
Tulsa Talks is the podcast that is inspiring people to have everyday meaningful conversations to gain perspective and help the world.
Welcome to Tulsa Talks. Today we're talking about mental health and public well-being. We have John Sullivan here today with us. He's an amazing man that I just met through another friend of ours, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
John, we were talking pre-recording, and you were talking about your career that led you into politics. Not only your career led you into politics, but also a personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about the challenge that you've faced in your life to develop you to be focused on what you're focused on?
Well, I mean, I'm an alcoholic. I think a lot of people know that. When I was in Congress, I had a relapse. I started drinking again, and didn't do it that much, but it was enough to scared me, and I knew I was going down a wrong path again, that I needed to stop that.
A successful man dealing with life issues with alcohol. That's almost absurd that we get to live this human experience, isn't it?
It is, and I have learned a lot through my experiences, and that's what I'd like to do as I move forward in sobriety. And I work in the A groups. I go to the meetings quite a bit. I love working with other people. I like trying to help other people. And people ask me about like, what religion are you and stuff. I'm Catholic and everything. I go to Mass here and there, not all the time. But I have learned more about God and my faith in Alcoholics Anonymous than I ever did in church. Not to put church down or anything. I still go and enjoy it and like it and get a lot out of it. But I've seen people come into AA that I thought would never make it. What's interesting is we have people that come in that will be right out of prison to be a heart surgeon in our meetings. We have all in between. And when you see these people come in that you think they're never going to make it, that guy's like homeless and he's never going to make it. I've seen a guy like that turn it into, he's doing great. The guy's got a great job. He doesn't even look the same. He's helping people. It is a damn miracle. I get to see miracles in the program.
So your relationship with others that come from tragedy to triumph has helped you see God in a different light?
It has. And I see God in a different light. Just, I think I was pretty selfish, self-centered. When you're a politician, you have an ego and you're self-centered. And I think I let that, fester too much. I should have been more humble and
what helped you become more humble?
Well, you become more humble when you go to rehab and you are a public figure, and it's on the front page of the newspaper that you're in a Betty Ford rehab, and people start writing you letters and stuff while you're there. Some weren't so good, and then I was worried. I thought my career was probably over, and I got these letters from people that said they hated me and I was a piece of you-know-what. But the most of the letters I got were very encouraging and nice and loving and kind. Actually made me tear up. So, some of them I read, and I tell those people when I see them even still that I really appreciated that.
So support was important.
It was important because at first you get there, you don't really talk, use your phone or anything, so you don't really know what's going on. So you can only guess. And my mind went to the worst things, of course.
Our minds can race.
Yeah, they sure can.
Down unrealistic paths that don't make a bit of sense. But what's cool is when you have that support system that can make you know what reality might be better than what's racing in your mind.
That's a good point. it is really good to have someone, a mentor, someone to reach out to check your thinking. I do that more now than I have in the past, and sometimes I think, man, I'm starting over like a baby, in life.
You say you reach out more, or you're there as a mentor more?
I do both. I do both, and I've been reaching out more probably because I think I can do things on my own, but I think it's very smart to have someone to run things by that you trust, that's kind of doing what you're doing at the same time.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. And it's a big, and your life can get so much better in AA, not just the drinking, you don't drink anymore, but you work on all aspects of your life. I mean, anyone that didn't even drink could do that. I think it'd be very, very impactful in their life. But you just go through your life and look at it with someone else. You look at your harms you caused others. Alcoholics drink and they think they're only hurting themselves, and they hurt a lot of people around them. They don't realize it.
Yeah.
So when you get there, you need to go back and make amends to all those people, and and make sure your side of the street's clean. Even if they'd done something to you, you did too. So you go, deal with that part of it.
Right. Yeah. The only thing that we have a slight control over is ourselves.
Right.
And if we're looking at others trying to blame them all the time, then maybe we're misfocused.
Right.
But that happens a lot.
Right. And we don't have people to blame all the time. We have a sign up in our meeting that says, "It's not them," with quotation marks on it.
That's awesome.
And it ain't about them.
Yeah.
It's about you. So
Yeah. Because we're here trying to navigate our life, and hopefully we're here helping people.
Right.
And with that, changing gear a little bit, how do you help people?
Well, I really do enjoy helping people. Actually, people ask me a lot, "Hey, John, what was the best thing you did in Congress and all that?" And they want you to say some big bill and all that, help business or something like that. Well, the thing when I look back at my congressional career, the thing I did I thought was the best thing I did to help someone was, there's a lady, my mother-in-law worked at Steinmart, and there's a lady, African-American lady, that worked with her there that she liked. They became friends. And she'd take the bus to Steinmart on Harvard, like 51st and Harvard, way out north, and she had 3 jobs and worked very hard, had a mother to take care of and kids. And long story short, her mother died. And my mother-in-law called me and said she doesn't have any money. They don't have any money for a funeral or anything like that. And so I called around, because I liked her. I called around, and I found that some of the funeral homes here have a service that they rotate it around, but they do cover indigents that they give them a decent burial, headstone, flowers, a plot. And I helped get that lady that deal. That made me feel very good, and her family was very happy. She was very happy, and I consider that one of the best things I did when I was in Congress.
And you spent some time at the state level and then some time in D.C. as congressman? Yeah,
I got elected when I was young in the state legislature in 1993. I got elected, and then I was sworn in 94. That big election when Republicans took over the House and the Congress as well.
So you were saying it was about 8 years, 7.5 years, whatever it was at the state level, and then 12 years at federal level?
Yes.
So 20 years that you did public service?
Yes.
And somehow you were able to not come out of that being a multi-millionaire from making $100,000 a year?
Well, yeah, I mean, I never, one thing, you accuse me of some things, but getting, stealing money and getting that, and they never could, because I never did that. But it's, I wasn't really in that. There are guys that do that, of course, but I just don't think that way. I just don't do that.
Yeah. So we've talked about a little bit about your history and what you've done and what you've experienced. What are you currently doing? You were telling me something about a law, trying to get something legislated still, even though you're not.
Well, I right now I have a lobbying firm that I started in 2013 with some people, some partners, and we have a bunch of clients. I am transitioning out of that. I'm going in on my own, taking some clients with me because I've been going to Washington for 12 years and I've been gone a lot. I was gone a lot when I was in Congress, and I regret a little bit when I look back at it that I wasn't around for some times when my kids were celebrating birthdays and things at school. I was in D.C. and I was gone a lot. Then when I was back here, I had to go do things as well, on weekends, everything. It was constantly working. And I don't want to make that same mistake with my grandchildren. So I still want to work and work hard and all the time, but I'd rather do it here and not have to travel. I almost got 3 million miles flying to Washington.
Wow.
And, you know, I've been inside a plane, if you add it up, roughly a year and a half inside a plane. And that's a lot. So I don't mind going to D.C. to do stuff, but I don't want to be there all the time. And,
right.
And when I live here, my family lives here. So,
yeah. How old are your grandchildren?
My grandchildren are I have 3 girls. 2 of them are, one's 3, one's 2.5, one's 2. And then I have 2 boys, one's 4 months and one's 5 months.
Youngsters, all of them.
All of them.
Youngsters. Mm-hmm. Wow, what a fun time.
I know, it is. It's very fun.
So,
you know, everyone tells you your grandkids, all that. I always thought, oh, yeah, right. But it's the truth. It's the truth. They're great.
Yeah. From from having to be more of a disciplinary to being able to just have joy and fun. Mm-hmm. From what I've heard, I've not experienced it yet. Yeah,
you'll like it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. One had she plays t-ball. She's 3.5 and real scrawny little girl, and she can hit the ball, but it's so fun to watch her. She runs she looks like she's running really fast, got little legs, but she doesn't move very fast. Her body's moving fast, but the whole body's not moving fast. She's a lot of fun, man. No, they all are.
So what are you going into again? You're going to be a lobbying firm here?
I have a lobbying firm in D.C. and here. It's JAS Strategies. It's we do energy transportation lobbying. It's going very well, and it seems to be rocking right along. So
drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think with Trump we're gonna actually do that, and if we do drill, baby, drill, maybe prices will go down some. So
is that good for the oil industry?
Yeah. If they get a price that's pretty good that they make money at, they're fine with that. And they'd like to see it around 80 probably.
It's 65 right now.
Yeah.
And we're talking about it going down if they drill, baby, drill.
I think it would go down a little bit more. Yeah, if they were drilling
robustly as Trump's talking about doing.
Right. Which they're not right now, but yeah.
Yeah. It takes a little while to get all of that geared up.
It does. Yeah.
So you help with transportation.
Yeah.
Of energy.
Yeah, transportation pipelines. Like for example,
did they shut that XL down? Is that years ago?
They're talking about bringing that back up. It's an oil pipeline. We have natural gas pipelines all over the country, and there's companies that want to get gas up to the New England states, like Williams companies. They see them isolated. They don't get gas. They use heating oil, like diesel fuel, to heat their homes.
Yeah, and that's not clean.
And you have Democrat governors up there that are okay with that, and they buy Russian LNG, and you have these tankers come in in the Boston Harbor from Russia with these cylinders on it that freeze the gas down, and then they regasify it and take it into the community. And
sure seems inefficient.
They're selling it for $55 an MCF. And this Marcellus Shale, it's a stone's throw away in Pennsylvania and Ohio. They could be paying about $2.60 an MCF, $2.60
instead of 55.
Yeah, and they won't do it. And the governor of New York has denied our permit. We have to go through there 122 miles, and they've received all the gas in Long Island that we provide. They love that, but they won't allow us to go through New York 122 miles.
And bureaucracy
to take all those people gas up there.
Yeah, isn't bureaucracy fun?
Yeah. Well, Cuomo denied it twice during Earth Day, so it's political is what it is.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think we can get it done.
Good. So you're a sizable business person.
Yeah, I mean,
with a challenging path as far as alcohol is concerned, and you're focused on helping people as well.
Yeah. I mean, I really do want to, next chapter of my life, I want there to be a large component of me helping people in Tulsa and other places as well. But I want to focus here. We got a large homeless community, and they suffer from mental illness, drug and alcohol abuse.
Yeah. That's the reason why you're homeless, right? I mean, that's why people are homeless, is because of mental illness or drug abuse, and probably both a lot of times.
Exactly. I mean, nobody's just like, hey, man, I think I want to be homeless and I'm going to go live on the street.
Yeah, how many 5-year-olds think, I'm going to grow up and be homeless?
But you do have a mother, let's say, or a couple, family, that it's hard times, and you do have those out there that have to get into that system. And
sure.
And it's not enjoyable for them. But
but when you're 5 years old, is that your life aspiration?
No.
I think probably not 99.9% of the time. And how do we help those people? Because all of us have had struggles. All of us have tried to mask pain with something at some time. How do we help those people?
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that. I think nobody does, or we'd have it answered by now. But there has to be a way to help these people. And no one really cares about these people. They don't. The doctors that provide services to them, they'll get reimbursed sometimes, or they don't have insurance or whatever. And I think we need to reach out and try to help these people, because they don't do that because they want to be like that. They're sick. We need to help them. And to turn our backs on them and just ignore them is wrong.
Yeah.
And God doesn't want us to do that. God always tried to reach out. Jesus reached out to people that needed it the most.
Yeah.
He wasn't too concerned about those that had it.
Well,
even his disciples got mad about that one time.
Yeah, the people that thought that they had religion or God figured out are the ones that Jesus said, "Hey, check yourself." And they're actually the ones that he was able to give his life through. There's the people that thought they had it all figured out. How backwards is that, even to today's society? Those that have it all figured out are the ones that might want to check themselves even more.
That's good. I like that.
So I am all about community. And we're doing this because I want to hear perspectives, and I want to be thought-provoking. And I just asked a man that said that he wanted to go into helping people, and he had no idea. He didn't have the answer. What do we do with that?
You know what? I want to help people, and I don't have the answer. I think about it almost every day. How do we do this? And I thought of it, which do you tackle first? Did you tackle the addiction first? The mental illness first? I think so.
I think it's a core issue that you already gave the answer for, which was helping people find God, which is setting an example and having the lowest of the people setting an example for the highest of the people so that they can understand life process. And maybe we can go into those communities and get some of those people help, the ones that want help, through this process of enlightenment, so that we can maybe spawn a movement into that community by seeing these other examples coming up.
I like that a lot. I like that. That's very good. I think we should do that.
I think that the keys of the kingdom have
because
already been given to us.
People that are alcoholics do not recover. I mean, most people don't that are alcoholic. Unless you go to Alcoholics Anonymous, you can do it on your own. Some people can, but they're not genuinely happy. They don't go through the other parts of the program that change their lives.
Grit only goes so far.
Exactly.
Grit does not allow joy. It might be a cover-up, another one to the alcoholism. But grit does not give us joy. God gives us joy. And seeing people flourish around me gives me more joy than me flourishing. This is what you just said earlier.
Yeah. And what you said, God God makes this possible for people that are have no hope. I mean,
which when it all boils down to it,
yeah.
John,
I mean, that's the reason
none of us have hope.
I'm not drinking because of God.
Yeah.
I'm not, because of God.
Yeah.
God did that.
Yeah.
And
so how do we get that into that community, I think, is the question.
Yeah. I think that's a huge component of it. I think Tulsa ought to go out and just start something, do something, and get something going and see, and we can correct and change as we go along and get better. But we need to start something. All we are is talking about it, and that doesn't go very far. You know?
Yeah. And you just said something that I was thinking without saying it exactly the same way. We're talking about God here in recovery. So many people have been hurt by the church.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have been hurt by people that lead with God, lead with Scripture. All they have is words coming out of their mouth and they have no action behind it. Has hurt a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I get to participate, or the Complete Peace Movement gets to participate with grassroots efforts, but I certainly want to encourage people to do that. And we are trying to build a community that I plan to share with you after the podcast that I talked with you about. And that community is engaged, not in some formal block church that only wants people to come onto their campus. We want to have a real life movement of people loving people out in the community. Church has been done the other way so long, and God didn't come to build a church. He came to build the church and also go and make disciples. And what we're talking about right now is going to make disciples. And you found that in AA. Mm-hmm. And you want to do that for Tulsa in general. And we're all about that. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how we work together.
It. Yeah, I like to work
But let's get it.
Let's do it. All right, brother.
Thanks.
We are here to help you discover or develop your passions, how you can use them, and why you exist. How can we help you help others better?